I went back into a new firm, so the firm Anderson had been bought by Deloitte. So I was quite nervous because it was going back to a new culture. But what I was able to draw on were all of the old networks that I had before I'd left. So all the people I used to work with were still there. So I reconnected with them, and that really made my transition back much easier than it would have been.
And I was itching to get back to work because I wanted to use my brain again. So that was really exciting. But then I had an underlying level of anxiety and stress because I wasn't in a good place mentally with my confidence about going back to work. So that was the part that was difficult, but I managed to find ways to cope with that. And actually, everything has got much better since that. And even going through that bad experience was a good thing for me.
As time went on, I think realised, in part inspired by the experience I'd had, with asking for my maternity leave, and also because I knew that the job I had involved very, very long hours, lots of evenings, and always being available to be contacted by other people, that it maybe wasn't going to work for me. I wanted to be around my daughter more than that. So I first of all extended my maternity leave a little bit, and then decided that I wouldn't return to that job and would instead do some freelance work.
The first time I felt like I, for my own self, wanted to be the same person as I'd left. So I wanted to go back at the same pace, wanted to convince myself I hadn't lost it and convince others of that. So I probably went back quite heavy hitting the first time around, and I felt the effects of that, let's say. I definitely needed a bit more flexibility second time around to manage work, home life. And actually the company were great at, and still are, at accommodating that and giving me some flexibility when things inevitably go awry, and you've got sick children or work commitments that clash and things like that.
I didn't return to the job that I was employed in before I had my daughter, and I deliberately decided that I would work somewhere that advocated flexible working, that would not necessarily that would make it easy for me to return to work. And I was contacted by an old colleague. They contacted me. They said what the company was doing, what the company ethos was like, and the company culture, and it was actually better than I expected.